towards hope.
Because we see a big different draft here from RNG. Talking about EDG, it's simple. You know, the front to back's still there. We still got the front line in Audi and Junjo to disrupt while space created. But it feels like for RNG, Dagda, it's time to skirmish and try and push this tempo snowball you've been talking about for the series.
And I'd love if we saw that from RNG towards the top side of the map. Use the likes of this Silas to set up for plays.
RNG,
Dies there again. I was looking across. I thought I would see like Mouse in the top. Imagine getting like, oh my god, what just happened? Oh, I've never seen that camera angle before. Yeah, we're getting the spin here as we go into game 2. EDG and RNG, just to reiterate, we don't see these teams face off in playoffs in round 1. This is the first time, and somebody is going home earlier than expected. Right now, RNG leading with the 1 game against RNG.
I want to correct something I said in
EDG,
Champ Select, though, because when we've got Longxing on the Silas, because he's going to be constantly facing off against this Ornn, especially in these side lanes, can oftentimes steal away the Call of the Forge God, and that's going to be the setup in these fights. So you can still opt in towards the skirmish style that RNG want to go for, but their team fighting is still nothing to sniff
But
at.
how can you be the best Ornn without stealing a second Baron? He's gone Grasp of the Undying, and that's just a weakness.
Well, the reason that you see the Unsealed Spellbook in the last game is when you're in these ranged matchups, there's no real way for you to try and proc the Grasp of the Undying, or even if you want to be really offbeat and go towards the likes of the Aftershock. So now when he's in this melee matchup where he can get lots of procs of these Grasp of the Undyings, it works far better against Longxing.
But that was a really late length. Going in for the invade here from EDG's side, Junjo will be spotted out over a ward, which means Xiaolongbao knows that he can split the map towards the bottom side.
I want to see if Xiaolongbao opts in for this, though, and how Mako and Hope try and play this, because right now they're pushing super aggressively. And this could actually be where Betty and Ming take a step back and allow for early gank from Xiaolongbao.
We're getting some
Well,
stats
never
down
mind.
the bottom of the map. Meanwhile, though, you can see game time is long. You know, champion kills per minute is long. Damage a minute is lowest as well. These teams get towards the later points in the game before they start dishing it out.
I want to go back to the split map thing that we were talking about, though, because with Junjo running down towards this bottom side means that he can start himself on 3 buffs, but crucially, he steals away the red buff from Xiaolongbao. And as a Kindred jungle, when you go for ganks, that red buff is allowing you to slow the target down and set yourself up to actually chase people. That's not what Xiaolongbao is going to be capable of doing right now, so a little bit more safety from these early ganks for EDG.
But a bit of questioning decision-making goes up, now hovering back down towards mid. Scout uses Phase Rusher, that's crucial there, so he can't get the movement speed to walk away for a little bit. He's now walking on in, Scatter the Weak is available here, Exhaust going to be used, but might need to flash this one as well. 1, 2, and 3. Xiaolongbao autos the turret, and Xiaohu takes another turret shot, but at least you get both summoners out of this Syndrome.
Deep from Xiaolongbao, though, if he'd got caught by that Scout of the Week, could have been a very different deal, but you can see the results there. Xiaolongbao had actually managed to get the red buff, a little bit more of a slow, a little bit more damage coming through, and might have been able to take down Scout in that situation. Xiaolongbao keeping things active here, though, and moving towards this top side. Junja in tow, though.
A really nice good shadow again. Really nice good. Junja now has pressed the attack as we saw in game number 1. So the potential, but too much there will stop him from going for the Ornn. What do you think, Dagda?
I like this from RNG. Xiaohu has pushed back Scout. They know that they're safe to go for this play. And with no TP on Scout, Xiaolongbao could just run straight towards that bottom side scuttle as well, with Xiaohu to keep them safe. I'd love to see him. Yeah, there we go. That's what he's doing. I saw him go towards the Raptors. I was like, no, please go get your mark.
You can see Xiaolongbao was sacrificing quite a lot to get in these lanes. Junjo, meanwhile, farming. And although he doesn't get the scuttle on the top side, he will. Although Xiaolongbao gets the scuttle top side, also will get scuttle bottom side as well. Note it is an infernal spawning here as I finally piece together my words. Junjo on the bottom side of the map as well, starting up his Raptors. So for Xiaolongbao, it's been a very interesting clear path. He's been a bit back and forth, but works out.
It does. This is the main thing for Xiaolongbao, is that he got the pressure play mid to set up for Xiaohu, and this is what we talked about wanting to see coming in from game number 1. Now Xiaohu has control of this mid lane, can start to push aggressively, doesn't have the exhaust after that gank, but still having a little bit more of an easy time in this mid will set him up to try and play more in conjunction with Xiaolongbao.
Fact is, it's only 10 CS right now, which is pretty decent here for Xiaohu. As you can see, the Rumble's gone back for an amplifying tome, matched by Scout with his own. And we're looking towards the bottom side yet again with the Yuumi Misfortune lane that Betty and Ming have to go up against. Remember in game 1, Betty had free time when everyone made these rotations across the map, picked up solo turret plate in gold. We'll see what the response is this game when we get towards those heralds, when we get the pushes that need to be traded from both sides.
I would like to see EDG try and just keep Betty and Ming down here when the Rift Herald does come up. Okay. The problem with playing with Yuumi, actually going to hold on to this point.
Well, Hope is going to be slowed on down. He still has the cleanse and flash available, and Betty actually takes a massive chunk. And Mako has sustained, so that's a net win trade for EDG.
And if Hope and Mako can continue this aggressive trading, they can dictate the pace of this lane. And that's what they need to do. When you have a Yuumi, it's a little bit more difficult for you to try and make these plays towards Rift Herald, where support roams and AD carry stays in the bottom lane, or you have a lot less options when you go for the Yuumi. So if instead they can keep Hope and Mako on this bottom side and work with the 3-man unit of Audi, Junji, and Scout, they can look to pick off someone very early in these team fights and try and turn that 8-minute fight in their favor.
Okay, we'll look for that, because going towards 8 minutes, you only got 2 left, ladies and gentlemen. Junja now towards the bottom side as well. Betty and Ming keep getting harassed here. The double-ups keep hitting too. Ming and Betty just going to leave lane because Junja now positioned aggressively.
And this is going to be a big wave that Betty and Ming are losing. Boy. Now they can turn over towards this dragon with all the pressure that they've created. You can see Betty is slowly and gingerly making his way towards that tower to pick up the farm, but EDG could look to punish after this dragon.
I mean, Hope in lane, right, has been one of the better AD carries. Just the whole split, Hope has been one of the best AD carries as well. He's really taken over his predecessor, iBoy. Remember that Hope in previous years, he only got 1 or 2 games, 2017, 2018. Even last year, he had a couple of series, but iBoy still played the majority. This is his first split starting as a starter for EDG. And Hope has looked pretty damn good. Again, that consistency shone through when EDG were making changes towards jungle in the top lane, when Scout had some down moments as well.
Now we crest the 7-minute mark though. This is where we start to see the movements towards that Rift Herald, and we can already see Ming has started to make his way over, and Mako is joining up with Junji here. So this is where we're going to see instead Mako potentially working with the Troll to get up towards that top side and still have that support in conjunction with the rest of the 3-man squad on the top side.
Everybody making movement. Audi here against Lung Xing, who does have the Hextech Revolver, so a bit of extra damage. While they're beefing it up, everyone from RNG making a move. Call the Forge God going to be used by Lung Xing first, but a good Bellows Breath from Audi just holds the line.
That's a big ultimate to be down for Lung Xing, though. You would love to have that available for, a team fight, but maybe you don't get to that.
Remember that Lamb's Spite's not available. Against the wave, he's going to use it there just to clear it out so that they take turret aggro. Good dodge away from Audi. He goes for the Searing Charge, the flash away. Ming takes up for long enough. Xiaolong Bao, the turret ramps up, remember. So that trade for EDG is better than expected.
Scout has the push still in that mid lane, so he's able to join on the top side. EDG, because you've got Braum committed to the top side, are able to make the play in the bottom here. So EDG winning out across the map.
And Scout with the second blood hit. That's big. We've talked about this mid lane matchup many times. We've talked about the mid laners, Scout and Xiaohu going head to head. And yet again, Scout looks to be set up to succeed.
And early game snowballers like RNG love to pick up Rift Heralds. That's how they start to get that lane, or their gold at least, in their advantage.
Yeah.
But right now, EDG off the back of that play have picked up the first Rift Herald, just like we saw in the last game. They're the ones that are also getting the turret plates on the bottom side. So this is net win completely for EDG.
Okay, it is going to be secured here by Junja. Pillar goes on up. Now, Xiaolong Bao is contesting this. The Scout Scatters the weak. Everyone collapsing from RNG. Unleashed Power doesn't do too much, but that is a good equalizer. Ming flashes over the wall with the Winter's Bite, the flash away. You need one more here on the concussive blows. And they find it. Give it over to Kindred. I believe she also picks up a mark with that one as well.
Finally gets the second mark for Xiaolong Bao, and RNG do a good job of getting a kill back in their favor, but that Rift Herald did go across to Junji in the meantime, and Hope and Mako are making this play in the bottom side. So 300 gold to Xiaolong Bao is great, but there's 320 gold that has just gone into the hands of Hope and Mako.
Ming is moving down to the bottom lane, but does not have the old Xiaolong Bao with the third mark, but now is he caught out? No. This Kindred very happy to go against the Ornn, as Lung Xing was waiting nearby.
So was Xiaohu. You can see him starting to roam. This is where we talk about Xiaohu having control of the mid lane can mean so much for Xiaolong Bao. Again, though, look at that gold lead. We're dead even right now because we're trading across the map on both sides.
Hope is a big BF man, right? 96 to 69 to 70, rather. Let's get away from that number. 30 CS in the lead here in this bottom lane with 3 turret plates, as you're mentioning. Just to look at that gold that's coming into his pocket. Berserker Greaves now picked up. And already, Hope was big last game. We set up the mid and AD carry many times here in the series, Dagda. It looks like game 2 is going to be the same.
And now look at the next objective that's going to be coming up, because if you've got this massive misfortune on the bottom side, well then start looking towards, okay, how do we try and team fight against this? Because Betty is a level behind Hope. He's actually just ticked over to level 7. You got Xiaolong Bao, who can try and provide a little bit of coverage for them, but when Junjie will have Mako on top of him, that's still an incredibly strong duo that can look to support this misfortune team fight.
But I will say as well, let's not forget that through this game, we've seen Xiaolong Bao get both those kills. This is now a fed jungler with 2 kills himself and Warriors. So RNG, gold is even. We're just waiting for this next dragon to see how it plays out.
EDG also have to be careful, because look at Longxing's teleport. If he can hold Audi in this top lane, RNG can look to make a play off the back of that teleport advantage. But in the bottom lane, EDG want to crack open the first turret.
You see, normally teams will go for the response on the other side of the map, but right now Xiaolong Bao is here. 3 versus 3 with the Yuumi on top. Chains of Corruption doesn't land from Betty, but do they stop the Rift Herald? Yes, they do. Smoten away from Xiaolong Bao, and it doesn't get the charge.
They didn't push in the wave before they punked it down. It means that RNG do a good job of getting it off the board. Now that pressure that we thought EDG might have been able to look to snowball with isn't there anymore. And when we look at the way EDG want to operate these team fights, again, this front-to-back stall with Scout ripping through the health bars alongside Hope, not having this gold into the pocket of Hope is really going to hinder us.
It would have just continued that snowball even further up as RNG now making the collapse with Xiaolong Bao, but the Winter's Bite is all that RNG can throw out right now, but Xiaolong Bao still moving forward. EDG being a bit greedy here as the ult gets the knock up here, but the lost chapter from EDG support may go down the bullet time into the Lambs for Spike, but they're low. The healing won't be enough here with the double up poking afterwards, but Xiaohu's now made his way in. He has Equalizer.
Xiaohu moved first, which means Scout can't get into the bottom lane. Scout going to turn back towards the mid, though, to look to try and get some turret plates. So Xiaohu and Xiaolong Bao have to leave, which is why Junjia's sticking around.
A lot was used from both teams, though. The Subjugate as well from Junjia, so 3 ultis for 3 ultis. We talk about Xiaohu in River here. He moves on up. They're going to start this dragon and take it away. So 1 apiece now with the Mountain Rift spawning in game 2.
This was always going to be RNGs because they had Longxing with the teleport play. So EDG not wanting to overcommit because Longxing had dropped into the darkness. They didn't know where he was. So at least then RNG evening up the dragons. We've got our gold bang on even. And this is again setting up to be an incredibly tense game.
Turret plating through the mid lane as well. You could see that Xiaohu picked up a couple on that push while the trade for the bottom lane in EDG's Hope. I'm looking across the board. I want to see those first items. We're only there with the Abyssal Mask at the top lane on Audi. We're waiting for the Liandry's Torment first. I know all the LS fans out there will be clapping for Xiaohu this game around. He should be pretty close to completing that one, but is behind by 20 CS in lane, as you can see against Scout. So Scout does have a big gold lead, and it's probably propping up the gold lead for EDG right now. Well, with Hope too. We've got some lane leads, right? Also, Ornn's in lane leaders. Maybe not the lead in lane right now. Good equalizer down to Junja. They're going to get the stun. He flashes over the wall. Teleport going to be response here. RNG using that advantage as Scout's locked on down. Burnt to death with an arrow in his side. Xiaolong Bao says, I'm Robin Hood. I'm now 3-1.
I don't know why EDG tried to fight there. There's no objective in River. There's not like there's even a mark there for Kindred. So EDG tried to move into the river, get matched by RNG, and the teleport from Longxing means they can work in this bottom lane turret.
Hope here doesn't know what's waiting for him. A ward goes down just in time. Mako mounts Hope yet again. The lost chapter going to be used with the Glacial Fissure once more. Hope low and dead. Longxing makes the dive happen and Audi misses the ult. RNG now grouped as 5. And I got to say, what a great early game to fight back here for Royal Never Give Up.
You give them one step, they'll take an entire mile. Now there you go.
Corruption onto Junja. He has the Subjugate, but he can't even use it. Xiaolong Bao is giga-fed.
EDG just to leave this bottom lane turret alone. There is too many members from RNG committed to this bottom side of the map, and it means now RNG pick up a whole heap of kills on top of potentially getting this tower on this next minion.
We don't see the same amount of turret plating for Hope this game around. It's only 480 for EDG, 320 for RNG. And now Betty in a better position than he was. Xiaohu in a great position as well. And as I mentioned before, Xiaolong Bao 4-1. He has Berserker Greaves. Now, that could be a Black Cleaver, as you'd think it'd be. Could be Trinity Force as well. He's that far ahead, I don't know.
And this is where RNG, we talked about them being super strong in the skirmishes. That's where they've been fighting all the time, because EDG keep walking into them to fight for no real reason. And especially when Longxing was playing with that teleport advantage, RNG been doing a good job to try and push their advantage over and over and forcing EDG into these bad fights. And as you said, a 4-on-1 Kindred who's entering into this top side of the map to fight for Rift Herald.
1,500 gold in the lead here for RNG at the 15-minute mark. As they start on the second Herald. This isn't Bertha, I believe this is Shelly, as EDG are looking to go through the choke point.
EDG needs to just back away. There's no reason to fight for this. You're way too weak. Even with Audi having that teleport available, he doesn't have the Call of the Forge God. Just let Audi try and take off this bottom lane turret and trade it for the one that you're going to lose inevitably with that Rift Herald.
Okay, so before the Rift Herald gets put on down, let's have a quick uptake because 5 marks for the side of Xiaolong Bao as well. Well, Junja has still been playing a good Trundle game. This time, Xiaolong Bao has really risen to the occasion. EDG, as a small note, have clawed back some of the gold with the turret going down bot for Audi. But just back to my note, Xiaolong Bao in game 1 was kind of not impactful. It was the Lambs fight in the pit that we saw his best moment. This game, this time around, he's been working a lot better with Xiaohu. This is the better form of RNG that we wanted to see.
And all it took was one gank. All you need to do was, one, to get Xiaolong Bao rolling, but also to give Xiaohu the confidence to start making these plays. And now they've been able to use the small advantages that Xiaohu gets in the mid lane to roam, make plays where they're stealing blue buffs, where they're stealing some of these camps away, or taking team fights as a whole. Xiaolong Bao now 4-on-1, a level advantage. He looks great.
But as we talk about with EDG, great front-to-back team fighters. Their team fighting is now the best in the LPL. And I'm willing to go out on a dime and say that because of what I've seen. EDG at the very least up there. So RNG need to continue this forward. They've got that gold lead already. They've got the Rift Herald. They've got Blade of the Ruined King on this Varus now as well. Let's see what happens in the next 5 minutes to really accelerate with the Mountain Dragon coming up in 20 seconds too.
Well, right now, Audi can just play towards topside and keep putting pressure on this top lane turret. He's got the teleport and can come and join in. What we're going to be looking for RNG is for Xiaolong Bao to pop down the Rift Herald, create pressure mid, to force Audi to join in the team fights, while Longxing is going to be grouped with them because he doesn't have a teleport of his own.
Just clearing out the vision behind pit as well. Pings are going down from EDG. Their play is towards the top turret, as you mentioned, with Audi pushing away, but also getting the inner track towards mid, while RNG commit here for the mountain.
EDG do the smart thing here. They give over the second dragon. They don't care if RNG pick this up. It's not like it's going to be overly impactful, and they can push in this wave mid while giving support towards Audi in the top side.
Highlight here on Xiaolong Bao as well. 1,600 gold over Junjera's. Nice equalizer, clear out the wave. Remember, folks, he's level 11, and you look at equalizer ticking down. That ult doesn't have a long cooldown whatsoever. So Xiaohu happy to drop that one down, deny the push from Audi, while Longxing. Pings are going down to kill this man. He's going to dodge away from the Scout of the Week, get denied taking the turret, but RNG were willing to match.
Yeah, they managed to get in between EDG, so Hope can join in the fight. Longxing is safe. EDG would do a good job of keeping that bottom lane turret, while Xiaohu was trying to see, okay, do I pull down into the mid lane because we're looking for a fight, or do I need to keep control of this top lane against them?
You can see Longxing was pulling back massively here, so really safe play. Good to see that Longxing not overstepping here in a really important playoff series. Remember, single elimination best of 5. We're only in round 1, and both RNG and EDG are household names of the LPL. Teams that people expect would be higher in the standings, so it is go play well or go home, essentially, if they're not at home already.
Keep your eyes on Xiaolong Bao, though. This is where EDG are going to look to start getting control of this Baron area. I know it's not up for a minute, but this is how they play, is getting these early wards in to spot out when Junji is going to try and help out on this top side of the map.
Audi has no armor as well. Only the cloth armor, and the Babby Cinder isn't fully complete yet, so... Okay, it's going to hurt when Xiaolong Bao starts throwing arrows at you. As now he's forging. He's got the chain vest. He knew this was coming. Xiaolong Bao spotted out, and he might just have to back away.
Yeah, Junji's on the way. He didn't get spotted by Xiaolong Bao, but they know, hey, look, if Audi is playing this aggressively to clear the wave, he must have someone waiting in the wings.
We're getting spam pings across the map. I mean, Scout and Junja are like, this could be our opportunity, while Hope sits mid and Longxing looks for this turret finally bot.
The Rift Herald's about to time out, so Xiaolong Bao has to throw this down in mid lane. Longxing will get this bottom lane turret, and if the charge comes through here, they'll pick up mid as well.
I mean, it will. Chains Corruption's going to miss, though. That's not good. Who's near for the turret? It is going to go to Betty and Ming in the end as well with Xiaolong Bao. RNG get 2 turrets in 1 push at the very least, so Ult misses from Betty, which isn't great, but at least getting the turret means RNG push ahead by that 2k gold mark.
Still not anything to write home about, especially with how matched these teams are right now. You will see Betty start to outscale Hope as this game goes on, as will Xiaolong Bao start to come into his own, but this is still pretty even for EDG right now. It's in those later fights where maybe RNG can start to pull things heavily in their favor.
Look across the board because Mountain Dragon going to be spawning yet again in 2 minutes 30. We need to take stock of those items that are coming through because we have bursts pretty much across Summoner's Rift. We're looking towards the second items here for the very fed members of RNG. Now I'm talking about Lung Xing, who got solo turret gold. I'm talking about Xiaolong Bao, who's still sitting on that phage and has been farming a bit of a storm here through his jungle camp. So I'm waiting with that 30 CS lead. It's going to be Black Cleaver, Dagda. I'm sorry. I never should have said Trinity Force, but a man can dream.
You can always have hopes. You can always maybe wish that it would be.
It's so much fun if you play.
There you go.
But Black Cleaver's great. You know, the attack speed you get. He's already got the extra range advantage as well. Bit of the health stats with the cooldown reduction. Here we go. Xiaolong Bao 2 items strong.
Still, though, we got to look at RNG and how they want to enter into these fights. Because, yes, they've got a gold lead for themselves at the moment, but if they try to go towards the Baron Pit, that's where EDG will be able to set up so successfully. True. Where they've got the call. The Forge got to go pull across multiple people, bullet time as well. They need to make picks like this.
I mean, Junja might be caught out here, but the bullet time! Line them up, baby! Lung Xing doesn't get the abscond of Duck, but maybe the turnaround here is Scout gets done by a great equalizer. RNG collapsing in, and Xiaohu is burning Junja. He flashes over, meanwhile, while EDG look to take the fight. Xiaohu is on his lonesome. What a beautiful scat of the week from Scout as EDG turn it right back around.
The second you go towards that pit, we talked about it, you're grouping up for EDG. You give them that front-to-back fight, and that's where they will be strongest. Hope with a massive bullet time across several people, and now they get that top lane turret, and the gold is ever so slightly in their favor.
There's always hope. Every single time, I think, oh no, Junja caught out here. Hope is such a good misfortune. This is his 19th game, and this dude is literally a pirate in training.
So if you are all focused onto Junja here, this is amazing for EDG. Because the bullet time comes across, and though Lung Xing tries to disrupt it, the final chapter, even when the likes of these skirmishing silences are able to jump on top of you, you're able to get the CC down. The Subjugate is too strong here as well with the CC from Scout. You can't even get Junja to drop in that fight.
And now EDG, just like game one, we're right back to even gold. I knew this was going to be a good series. Imagine not watching this. You are foolish. You like League of Legends? You're here. Welcome. Because right now, we're building up for that dragon fight yet again. EDG are grouping up here as a 5-man. Ming might be caught out. Scalawake doesn't connect though, so he's safe for now, but Call of Forge God taken by Lung Xing.
And this is a much better ultimate for Lung Xing. He stole the bullet time in that last fight.
Yep.
You want Lung Xing to provide that engage tool and try and disrupt Hope in these fights.
And it's coming through. Audi doesn't have one in response. The pillar. The pillar of doom from Junjeras. Now they get the slow on down. They're channeling into this choke. Making it rain yet again. EDG at full health.
Look for Xiaohu though. This is going to be a massive equalizer if he can get it off correctly. He'll be looking to try and get onto Hope and Scout if possible.
He pulls off into the wing. Dragon sitting there. EDG still going forward aggressively, but cautiously at the same time.
This is where EDG are strong though, where they have Audi and Junji at their front line. You can even see Scout has moved into the mid lane to try and create pressure and make sure RNG are losing off the back of this play.
Audi now with his ultimate available. Lung Xing without his. They get positioning over the Dragon. The flank from Lung Xing not successful. The final chapter comes through. You talk about the equalizer. That zones them away. Maybe for the Dragon for now. They go on in for the steal. It is secured by RNG. But now the flash on top is the change to corruption. Land. Lung Xing re-engages for success. But Hope with a bullet time again. Into the lands despite the Call of Forge God. Now comes through. Xiaohu's dead. Lung Xing golden. And there's always hope, isn't there? Scout of the week. Fly, Phoenix, fly. Sorry, wrong team. EDG pushing against RNG. And Ming now caught on out too. Give Hope more money. This guy should be famous by the end of the year. Or the split. Or this series.
Zoomies bringing the RNG Doomies, and what a team fight from EDG. RNG group up in this pit, and it's a disaster for them. We already laid it out for you. If RNG are sitting grouped up, you can get these big scatter of the weeks, you can get these massive bullet times, and Audi has been doing a stellar job of holding on towards these Call of the Forge God. at the end of fights to pick off the low health members. So even though Xiaolong Bao is getting Big Lamb's respites, there's more engage from EDG. There's more tools for them to win these fights.
That flash from Hope from the absconded duck. I totally missed that. That was gorgeous. But even though the Lamb's respite have been good, EDG is so persistent here.
Well, the Lambda respite is keeping people healthy while the bullet time's going on, right? But Audi is coming in with further engage. You've got more speed up coming through from Mako, and the whole time you're sitting in this Xiaolong Bao ultimate, Mako's healing up multiple members of EDG. Now though, EDG pushing forward, trying once again to see if they can get control of this river for the Baron that is up. They need to get down the mid lane turret though, otherwise RNG are capable of just sitting here and clearing waves all day long.
RNG in a choke, Scout pushing up as well. RNG are down by 1,000 gold, but let's not forget Betty with 2 items here. Xiaohu getting close as well. This is not said and done. Plus they can play with the Mountain Soul in 3 minutes, so for Royal Never Give Up, it's about not losing further here in the mid lane.
And Longxing can play in this bottom lane as well. He's been doing a good job of pushing in waves consistently. Would like to see him still down there though.
That scatter the weak. Chain's Corruption doesn't land. EDG now say, let's go forward. They've got them sectioned off. Xiaohu with a great equalize, but they're going forward. Xiaolong Bao with the Lamb's fight yet again. The knockout comes through, and the fake call of the Fort God comes in. RNG get low. Xiaolong Bao survives now with the bullet time, this time not hitting anyone, but they turn for the rest of them. And EDG find knock-up after knock-up. Xiaohu says, I try to burn people, but Scout is full of magical power. A double kill for the best on. And I think EDG now say, let's Baron.
That's the team fights from EDG. That's why we're highlighting at the start of the series how good they can be in these engagements. And it has now netted them the Baron. Once you see RNG commit the Chains of Corruption and it goes wide, it's open season for EDG. Nothing to lock them up, apart from maybe a Glacial Fissure, and especially when Longxing has never connected these Call of the Forge gods thanks to Junjie, they're not going to be able to do anything.
Xiaolong Bao tries to come in for a steal, but way too late. Longxing in there with the TP as well, but Baron secured. And Edward Gaming are putting on a clinic for us here. They're making RNG work for their scraps.
You can see here with Chains of Corruption down and Braum not in a position to try and stop this Call of the Forge God, EDG are free to run over them. And every time Longxing hasn't been able to connect with these R2s in the Call of the Forge God. That time opting for the Abscond Abduct instead of hitting the second ram of that ultimate. And EDG are cleaning up house.
Oh, Scout of the weeks, man. There's so much good to talk about here from EDG, and I gotta say, if you're JJ and Junu right now, you're saying, are we going to play any more of playoffs? If EDG managed to win this series, then you're like, well, the C-tier players that really aren't C-tier are going to be playing the rest of it, because Audi and Junja are just such a good core part of this team.
And now, how do you try and fight as this next dragon for Orange? You've already lost vision control in your bottom side jungle. River belongs to EDG, and they're poking you out with this Baron underneath the turret.
The Yuumi from Mako yet again. He's Agent 007 just to show us. 008, I'm sorry. His turret is going to go down in the end. The pillar placement, great. Scatter the weak, good again. Danger zone for RNGs. We're in this position in game 1. We go again.
I don't know why you steal the Subjugate there. I know, yes, you've got the cooldown for Audi's ultimate, but there's still the bullet time. There's still a lot more that you can steal that could have been more useful. Subjugate isn't going to do a huge amount here.
They're going to be walking forward. Audi with the ultimate available. Chains of Corruption is used. RNG trying to defend this inhibitor, but Betty has not been on point with the ultis this game. The Hail of Arrows doesn't do anything either, as Hope is walking forward aggressively. Inhibitor down, gold lead at 5k.
And I love how Audi is positioning in these fights to zone back Longxing. He's moving aggressively forward, but once the Silas is spotted on the side, we'll move back. And it's this constant rotation around Hope that's stopping Longxing from getting access to the AD card.
You don't expect EDG to come out of the right. You think they're resetting. RNG move up though, so smart positioning from Royal Never Give Up. But Dragon's up. And this one, this soul, you can't really take it, can you?
Yeah, they're on the opposite side of the map. They can't do anything here. They can get the waves in order, which is going to be at least a little bit of a help for them, but EDG are running them in this game.
Okay, it means they're 2 away from Mountain Soul themselves. As for EDG, I mean, we talk about class. This has been great. Now, I don't want to just talk about EDG. I think RNG still in this game, despite all things considered, do have the opportunity to layer those ultis and find a way back in.
I'm looking at Xiaohu though, because this was the guy that we were talking about stepping up for the team. He's 0-3 here, has already got Xiaolongbao, who ganked him to set him up, but hasn't been able to find much success after that. Now, yes, RNG haven't been opting into the best fights to enable Xiaohu, but that's a problem in and of itself.
What do we talk about coming into this? When the mid laners from both these teams are enabled or they're stepping up to the plate, the team follows suit. You can see Scout towards this early game. The team follows suit, and then Hope does Hope things as usual. Xiaohu falters, and it feels like the rest of RNG are lacking that crucial voice, that crucial tempo member that we set up on the side of RNG. And this time around, I mean, Xiaolongbao is kind of the person who feels like he's been leading the charge. But Xiaohu unable to follow, as you mentioned, 0 and 3. He's got 2 items himself, but waiting for that big equalizer to stomp down EDG. But EDG are taking everything on the map, even without Baron.
And you've got this big minion wave in mid lane as well that someone from RNG has to deal with. This is now EDG in control once again, and they should be able to crack this turret once someone goes to control mid lane.
Scatter the Weak zoning away RNG. Lunching on the side, this time takes Call of the Forge God. It is available, but so is the equalizer. Finally laid down well onto Hope, zones him away. Out he goes in for a massive knockup though. Ming at half health. Scatter the Weak again. As the real Call the Forge God with the bullet time, they flash away, and RNG are faltering. Lungxing goes golden, but will that just delay the inevitable? I think so, because Scatter the Weak. Scatter the damn Weak. That's what the name is, and Scout makes it so.
And now they have to deal with that mid lane wave we talked about, so EDG, even though they don't drop anybody on RNG, they'll get the turrets in response.
These guys are feeling it here. Another inhibitor going down. And RNG, that didn't result in a fight, but it just looked like EDG had their number every part of the play.
And now they get to back away, spend that gold, pick up wards, and look towards Baron in just over a minute. EDG have 2 of these inhibitors down, and it's going to be so difficult for RNG to try and deal with both of these inhibs.
Lungxing was so close there. You could see the potential. I want to note as well, Baron in a minute, 2-minute 30 for the Mountain Dragon. 32 minutes in this game. Remember, we said these games aren't going to be quick. It's not like watching IG top esports or some of our faster teams in the league. These guys end game slow. Longest game duration. Definitely up there. And right now we're expecting to see that next fight that EDG want to end the game and take it to match point against RNG.
So the good news here for RNG is that EDG don't have the quickest Baron take. Yeah, you've got Hope on this Misfortune who can do a bit of work. Scout doesn't do it very quickly. You've got a little bit of damage from Junjia. So at least RNG can, as long as they got these blue trinkets, check the pit every so often. And if they can find a massive equalizer, they could deal the damage that they need. But Xiaohu
caught on out, Call the Forge God, the equalizer, rubbish. And that positioning was rubbish. That was horrible. 0 and 4. Xiaohu this series has been outclassed by Scout. And EDG now with a 4 versus 5. They're saying, EZ clap, let's run it forward as Lungxing now for Funnel Engagey takes the subjugate looking for it, but Lungxing's dead as well. The Lambs despite only Denazy in their forward again as Scout and Junja with Audi paired work together as a cohesive unit. This is not the story of RNG, it's the story of Edward Gaming, dissecting them play after play and taking us to match point that I'm sure not many people expected.
We raised the question to begin with this, Derek.